What's your take after coming away with a point today?
I think it was a fair result. I thought first half, let's be totally honest, they should have been in front. Said before the game, as I will never make excuses, they won more duels, they run more, they contested more, they won every first contact in the box, and we can't play any worse than that. But it was 0-0, and I knew we'd play better. I had to make the tactical change. I went to the back five with 3 in the middle of the park, and we were getting overrun. There was too many spaces. And I said to the lads at half time, that's not our team, that's not my team. We have to fight, we have to, win duels. And we didn't. And they were better first half. And if they'd have come in 2 or 3 up, you'd have said, yeah, Luke's made a couple of good saves. They didn't have any real great chances, but he made some good saves. So let's be totally honest, first half we should have been losing the game, no question. Second half we've come out, we've made the change. I thought we were much better. I thought Harry Whitwell was outstanding. I thought Carr's done well when he came on, Nosey, so the subs impacted the game again, and if the game had gone longer I think we go and win it, but it didn't. I don't think there were penalties. There were shouts of penalties. I don't think they were, if I'm being honest, and I think a draw was fair. But again, I have to give the lads credit. I thought Big Ryan Innes done exceptional when he come on as well, and the back five seemed to suit us without a 10. Nick was a Nick's game again, but he's got to get up on speed, because people know about him. He's the best 10 in the league. But right now, if you think of our last 2 away performances, we've been better in a 5-3-2. So I've got to think about Tuesday and how we go and get, play better. But again, we're unbeaten in August. It's, what is it? It's 5 games, 6 games. What have we won? 4, drew 2. Unbeaten. Another clean sheet. Only 3 goals conceded in 6 games. Don't think our XG was high today. Second half it might have been. Our XG against would have been higher. But listen, point on the road again. You win your own games, clean sheet. You take that.
I know you didn't talk much at half time or before the game. Did you say much to them to change and have the better second half performances in the second half?
I don't shout. I'm not a shouter. Listen, I just make my point myself and John and my staff. It was just basically, we're better than this, guys. We're better than this. If you look at their team, none of their players get in our team at half time. None of their players get in our team at half time. Every one of their players gets in our team, and that was the difference. In second half we were far better. We created chances, we were aggressive, we won duels, we made first contacts, and we got a clean sheet. And I said at half time, we keep a clean sheet, we'll score. Fair play for Braintree for keeping us out, but again, I think it shows how far we've come in a short space of time, that we're disappointed we've not scored and we've drawn away from home in the National League.
You look at Braintree, how much credit goes to them? I know you didn't play the best, but they seem to be very well organised and came at you in the first half.
Yeah, they did. They were very good in the first half. We came here last year, I think we got beat in the league 1-0. But what we've got to do is we've got to try and get back to that free-flowing football. But it's not easy, because people know us. I spoke to Judgy, one of their players who come off. I was with him at Blackburn, and he watched us play and said, listen, you're very, very good, and people know that now, so we're going to have to find different ways. And if you get a goal in the second half with a tactical change, we'd have come away on the bus, another win, but it wasn't to be. But again, I can't fault the effort and the desire in the second half. First half, a team of mine, when you're losing duels and you're all over the place in terms of getting played in behind, it started early on, wrong decisions, like we're kicking the ball long, to them, that's what they wanted. So again, game management, 2 minutes to go, when they're having a spell of pressure, my goalkeeper kicks it long, quickly. Come on, manage the game better. And listen, I'm going to give my boys credit. It's a clean sheet away from home, and another point when other teams around us have got beat. I think we're second in the league now, in August, unbeaten, 4 wins and 2 draws. Listen, it's been a great start, but we can play better.
You took one of the questions away about the penalty decisions. There were a few, but you obviously think none of them were worthy.
I'm honest. I don't think they were. Listen, there was appeals. I don't think they were, personally. But listen, I'll watch it back and I might be wrong. I thought, officials done okay again. I'm never going to bemoan or have a go at them. I think we're respectful to the officials. There's a few choice words from their bench at the officials. But, at my bench, the way we speak to people, that's how you want to be spoken to also. So again, the officials didn't fine. You have to speak to them in a way you want to be spoken to, and my bench do that. So again, I thought a few things, what we're seeing again when teams play against us, especially in the second half when teams get tired, you're seeing how fit we are, that when players going down, wasting time, which I get. It's game management, I get it, and fair play to them, but we're going to have to put up with that, and we're going to have to be quicker when we take set pieces, when we take throw-ins. Knowles got a long throw, which is a great throw, by the way. I didn't realise he had such a long throw. Again, there'll be changes on Tuesday. I've got to look at Morecambe. We'll watch that, we'll do analysis, but we've got to try and get back somehow to blowing teams away. But it's difficult. It's difficult. People know us, and it's hard when they sat in the second half because they got tired, and we then come into our own with our subs, and we did better second half.
You mentioned Morecambe on Tuesday. Do you have much time to have a word with the guys and get them into training? What's the plan for the next few days?
No, they'll be off tomorrow, long journey. Monday we're going to Everton's training ground, Finch Farm, to train in the afternoon. So again, John McMahon contacts mine with Moisey. I give Moisey and said, can we use your training ground? So we're going to use Everton's Finch Farm on Monday. So the lads can have a little lie-in Monday morning, because they probably won't be able to get to sleep tonight with the adrenaline. So they can have a lie-in Monday morning, get to the training ground, travel to Everton's training ground, train, then go to the hotel in Morecambe, and then prepare for another difficult game against Morecambe. I don't know how they got on today. They lost, so they'll be up for it again. Braintree, on the back of conceding 5, we're up for it. And listen, we've got to get used to it. Everybody's up for the game against Forest Green Rovers, because you hear what people say, you hear the narrative, and we've got to thrive in that. We've got to enjoy that. And as I said, everybody wants to beat us, but everybody would like to be in our dressing room from the brand of football we're playing.
Finally, how's Mitchell? He went off with holding his knee with the ice patch.
Yeah, fine. He banged his knee. Yaya was holding his hamstring as well. But what we can't do is, if you're injured, you're injured. You can't hold your hamstring and then want to stay on. Because we've had hamstring injuries. So again, we can't show weakness. Yaya did fine, by the way. Just want a bit more from a few though. Listen. Before a ball was kicked, if somebody would have said, listen, you'll be second in the league, unbeaten in August with 6 games, with tough games, clean sheets, goals, would you have taken it? Yes. But I think that's a disappointment, that this is the only game I think we didn't deserve to win, if I'm being totally... maybe Halifax, but we won that game. But I think a draw was fair today, and if their manager says anything different, I think first half they deserve to be in front. Second half we deserve to. It was a game of 2 halves, and that's what it was. But am I disappointed? Yes and no. I think our travelling fans again, magnificent. Big shout out to them. Long journeys, brilliant. Stayed to the end again. We created chances from the second half, and our defenders defended really well. So again, big shout out to the travelling fans. They're massive for us. They'll be massive for us on Tuesday. A long trip on a Tuesday night, but that's what fans do. They relentless. They support their team, and it'll be hopefully we can get them a win on Tuesday night.